Good afternoon. We are in Meatpacking district in New York City, a few steps away from High Line. We're going to walk High Line toward Hudson Yards today. Welcome. It's about 80 degrees in New York City. It's pretty humid and it's kind of hot. Welcome everyone, thank you for your likes, for your shares. This is Meatpacking district and we're walking toward High Line. Cream, oh hi, Shelly and Anthony, Elfin. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't believe this. What happened? Oh, okay. Oh my god, this is horrible. So horrible. What happened? He was so young. Oh, that's shocking. Oh my god, can't believe this. Hi, Lena.
I feel like EM has that.
Oh, this is tragic news, really.
Advertising.
Hi, Kevin. Oh, this is horrible. We're gonna miss him so much. Hi, crazy man. Oh my god, I can't believe this. I honestly cannot imagine any stream without him. Hey, Colleen. Hey, good afternoon. Yes, I was going to say that. Let's dedicate this stream to Pheng. This is way too young. Hey Ori, good afternoon. Oh, that's so shocking. Oh my god. Yes, he is missed and he will be missed. You know, there are not so many who really impact on the streams and streamers and chats, and you know, in a profound way. And Pheng was one of them. I can't believe I said was. Hey, Grass Motor Botarde from New York. Yeah, this is shocking. Let's dedicate the stream to Pheng. Of course, my condolences are to anyone who knew Pheng and knew Pheng personally and knew Pheng through the chat, through live streams. Rest in peace. Horrible. Horrible news. Bad news that Pheng, who everybody knew, if not personally, through the chat, through multiple channels, has passed away. He was only 39. He is missed and he will be missed. So what we're gonna do, we're going to walk upstairs and walk High Line. Welcome everyone to the stream. This stream is dedicated to the memory of Pheng, one of our most active chatters and participants. Not just our channel, but many other channels. Many other channels developed thanks to many, of course, people, and Pheng was one of the most active ones. Do you know what happened? What happened? Hey, Ruben, hi. April, hey. Pheng always said hi to me when I logged on. A really sad time. He had a stroke. That's what his brother told us. He had a stroke last year too. Oh my God. This is horrible. Horrible. Scott, Lena, he said something about having been in rehab not so long ago, etc. Ruben is going to be different, not seeing him in these chat rooms, for sure. This is crazy. This is life. You never know what's going to happen the next minute. M18 man, good afternoon. Yesterday morning. Rest in peace. Hey Denise, good afternoon. Kirk, the High Line, is it east or west? Lower Manhattan or Midtown? It is not Midtown, it's below Midtown. Midtown, well, technically some say that Midtown is going south as far as 14th Street, so technically you could call it Midtown West probably, or Lower Mid. No one says Lower Midtown, but Midtown West. Even though this area technically is Chelsea area, Manhattan, as well, more specifically. John, we had a stabbing here last night where I live. Connie, hey, good afternoon. Rico, hey. Let's just listen to some water. running through this area of Highline, which is fun for children and sometimes adults too, especially on the hot day. Ruben Restaurant Paradise fans, thanks for being so kind to everyone. Absolutely. April, really peaceful area. Pauline Pheng was a great chat friend. He cared about everyone. R.I.P. Pheng. R.I.P. Carlon Ann, hello. And this is why it's touching so many people, because thanks to this technology we're all using, we can communicate no matter where we are in the world, and we kind of get to know each other, even though we never met in person. But you know, nevertheless, we communicate, and after a while, we, you know, become chat friends, so to speak. And Pheng was one of those. John Roberts, R.I.P. Chat becomes a family, absolutely. I mean, you can call it extended family, chat family, whatever you call it. It's a community. Tin Man, so true. Connie, yes, you're right. There are some very nice people you get to meet online in chats. Rico, rest in peace, fan. Cosmos Carey, hi, good to see you. Love the Highline. Live Liberty and Guns, good afternoon, good to see you. Hello, back here in New York City, staying at the Marriott Marquis. Maybe we will run into you later. Maybe, maybe not. It's a big city, but the world, it's a small world. And it's a short life. So let's enjoy it while we can. But today is a very sad day. $1,400. Good afternoon, good evening. The good you do in life is well rewarded afterwards. Well, hopefully, but what is that afterwards? It is a question too that, you know, we can only guess the answer to. My condolences to the family and friends. and it's officially a dog day, so happy dog day to all the dog lovers. Yeah, this is an artwork on Highline, and this is You Know Who I Am, it's called, and that's by Paula Peavy. And basically what they do, they put the different characters' faces on Statue of Liberty, and this is what the end result looks like. Pheng said he worked next to an R.I.P camping store, so I assumed he worked in downtown New York City. Christian Funny's goofy statue. Yes. We see quite a few tourists here. It's Friday, late afternoon, early evening. We're walking toward Hudson Yards. This is Highline. Danger. Hey, good afternoon. Christian area would be a fun store to play around in for more than an hour. We'll see you later, 1400. Thank you for stopping by.
It is, yeah.
To our left is Chelsea Piers and Hudson River. And we are walking on Highline, which is an elevated park, even though it doesn't look like a classic park. And we're overlooking, I think it's 10th Avenue if I'm not mistaken, and we're approaching West 18th Street. John, I have to go for now. Everyone have a great and happy life. Thank you, and we will see you later. Thank you for stopping by. Danger, sorry to hear about Pheng. He really enjoyed the walks and interacting with all of us. Yeah, there's interesting buildings. They actually used to be some sort of industrial. The whole area was some sort of industrial slash meatpacking slash production slash manufacturing. But this area along Hudson Yards was heavily reconstructed and remodeled, and now it is super fancy. Apartments and units and condos. Rika, my heart is pounding here in the news. Yes, when you're a young adult, you process the news differently from when you're like older than just young adult. So the younger you are, the less you care about. Do you think you will live forever, and then all of a sudden, life is happening. Ronald, good evening. R.I.P. Pheng. Yes, he will be remembered by many, 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 many people.
I sold more. And on the muslin, it's not too, but I just think it's not.
It's not hard to buy nice shoes.
Julio R. Hi, good afternoon to you too. The bringer of life. That is dopest building in New York City. That one with the fancy windows like this. Perhaps. For sure one of them.
Love it. Sorry, baby.
Sally, good afternoon. Damaris, hello. Christian, the how long is going on? The chat, remember a special cool guy.
It just obscures.
They look like lanterns, but they're just windows, but how fancy they are. And I don't even know how they constructed, because looks like they have shelves on them somewhere, like that one on the upper half of the window. So is it one window? Is it two windows? Is it one floor? If it's two floors, probably one floor. Interesting. Maybe it's a two-level apartment and they have access to, yeah, it's probably a two-level apartment. This window, the long window, is sharing the first and second level. That would probably make a lot of sense, but we're just guessing. Katya, hey, good afternoon. His mascara looks like a bubble wrap. Stacy, love the building. The matter is fancy and very expensive. Oh yes, that's for sure. Scott, Mama moved into John Beer Barrel in New York City. Yeah, that would say someone who just got a job with, getting paid a lot of money. Look how many tourists are here. It is a busy evening. It's Friday early evening. It was sunny and much more humid and much more summer-like early in the day. Now it is much better. Temperature is about probably bouncing between 75 and 80 right now.
Windows? Yeah.
Colleen, please do not forget to like the video. Thank you. Or stream rather. Thank you. Yes, please give us a like if you're watching and you like what you see, if you forgot. And if you're not subscribed yet, we invite you to subscribe as always to our channel. April, Times Square will soon be buzzing. Isn't it always buzzing?
Do things differently as well.
But he knows that.
I hear a lot of British accent here today around this area.
I think I would do the same. I'm like,
So today we're dedicating the stream to Pheng, who passed away yesterday at the age of 39. He was a good chat friend, and those who knew him personally probably were fortunate to have him as a friend in their life. But he was friend to all of us in our chat rooms. Yeah, it's good weather in the city. It was supposed to rain first, they said, but of course they made a mistake this time. The good mistake, because it did not rain. Actually it did, but not everywhere in Manhattan, only in some parts. Tamara is so sad. On Earth, good evening, good early evening to you. Katya, I love the High Line. Thank you, Elle, for taking us there. You're welcome. Bagels and Walks. Hello, hello. Good to see you as always. Welcome, welcome. Thinking of Pheng today, yes. Rest in peace. Ruben, Pheng was regular in these chat rooms, a decent, good-hearted person. That latest t-shirt says, I'm not interested in competing with anyone. I hope we all make it. This is African Fabrics store, as we can read right there on the upper right corner. Yeah, it's funny, never been completed, or maybe this is how it's intended to be. As far as the colors, as background colors, it looks incomplete somewhat. Maybe this is how it should be. You know, if you're in Harlem, if you're on I think 116th Street and is it 5th Avenue or so, they have a market there that is basically an African market. It's pretty big. It's outdoor market, and you can find all kinds of interesting things in there, from trinkets to clothing. Darlene W, when I walked on the High Line, I couldn't believe how many people have their partners right there. I wouldn't want everyone looking on me. Yeah, and you know what? A lot of them don't really use shades or stuff like that. It's interesting. It is a very prestigious property, though. This one is one of the older ones, you can tell. Not as fancy, but still location, but next to it is much cooler. It's like a futuristic design altogether.
Yeah.
Photos from around the world, from around New York, sorry. Said the high photos. You know, it's plenty of apartments in New York that are like that. It's, I don't know, I don't get the concept, but they, perhaps you're right, they just like everyone to see how they move around the apartment and their furniture and how big and cool the apartments are. I don't understand that. Welcome everyone. We are looking at the intersection of 10th Avenue and West 23rd Street. West 23rd Street is the street that's going straight into Madison Square Park, which is right where that tall building right there in the middle of your screens right there. That's a life insurance company building built in, I think, 1933 or 23. That used to be the tallest building in the world, perhaps at the time of construction. Yeah, quite a few buildings in New York were the tallest at the time of construction. That's New York City. It had to be like that. It still has to be. By the way, the Steinway Tower, that is the thinnest residential tower in the world, with a ratio of 1 to 23.5, and it's a Steinway Tower on 57th Street, and it's between 7th and 6th Avenue, closer to 6th Avenue. That one is so thin it defies the physics, really, and it's built a way that when it's windy, when it's bad weather, the top of the building is fluctuating a couple of feet back and forth. This is done on purpose. It's amazing what they can build in New York and all over the world too. Wow, oh my God, it must have been a massive stroke. So sad indeed. Connie, yes, very sad for a lot of us who spoke with him. Sometimes daily was his second stroke. Ambrose, good evening. Good to see you. Pheng officially had a channel, I guess, from just having a YouTube account. There's nothing there except when he became a member. Very sad and very cloudy right now, but it's not supposed to rain, so we will be under the assumption that the clouds will come and go. We see Hudson Yards and we see observation deck right there. That triangle's taken out to the right is observation deck. Currently no people on it.
So? Ja. Wie viel Signale wir putzen, oder?
Ambrose, and when life isn't so fragile, it's so short. Yep, you can win. Darlene Traveler, it's time to head home. Have a great rest of the day, everyone. Hugs. We will see you later. Thank you for watching. Ruben, always be kind to others because you'll never know what tomorrow will bring. Welcome everyone to our chat and our stream. Dedicating our stream to the memory of Pheng, who was one of our friends here in chat for a very long time, since the beginning of our channel. And not just our channel, many other channels. Ronald, that's why you should live each day like it's your last. Christian Male Fox 5 hovering his chopper over that building was just security guy up there. Danger, really have to make time for family and friends. We are on High Line. It's getting a little darker than normal, but it's just the clouds. Even if it rains, plenty of trees we can hide. EBB, hey everyone, nice day in New York City. Hey, good afternoon. Christian, if they put pools up here, this Highline might become a resort. No, not Highline, but all these new buildings left and right, they are probably resorts on their own. They sure have a gym and maybe a pool and who knows what else. Joanne, hello. I'm sad to hear this news. I will miss him in the chat. R.I.P. my brother. Condolences to the family. Oh, it's really pretty impressive how many people are here today. Both ways. Basically, at this point, I can't even walk as fast as I can or as slow as I can. I just have to drift.
No, te imagínate que antes aquí pasaba.
And then like
I will try to find another overlap that will stay permanent. Just give me one moment. That's a good idea. That was my intentions first. Bigland Walks, yes, it's gone very busy.
then they explain before me.
I'm making an overlap. Thank you for your patience. Let's see if this one will stay. The Mighty Bull, good afternoon, watching, listening, learning, thinking, and enjoying. Welcome, welcome. Bigland Walks, folks, visiting might want to go very early or late. It's hours of 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Kirk, what exactly is a big attraction in Hudson Yards? April, you're welcome. The Mighty Bull, thank you so much for your constant support. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for learning. And thank you for enjoying. Thank you very much, the Mighty Bull. What's the biggest attraction in Hudson Yards? Well, outside of the High Line, which is technically not Hudson Yards. Hudson Yards, the whole complex is ultra modern, and if you don't like shopping in the mall, that would be observation deck, the edge they call, which we cannot see from here because we at a different angle. And also the vessel, especially when the vessel was open, that was an attraction because that structure was unique and its design, unfortunately very unsafe, and it provoked a few people to, since we saw, speaking of sad things today, we might as well mention that few people decided to end their life by jumping off the top of the vessel. And the first time it happened, they closed vessel up for I don't know, a few months maybe. Then they reopened that, and the other guy decided to do it, and that was it. It was very sad. And that structure was unsafe. I mean, you don't have to be an architect to not to approve this structure in such a public place. There was programmed to be a disaster, but this is what they did. I guess the designer insisted. Christian Hansen, thank you so much for your super sticker as always. Also, thank you so much for your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, the Mighty Bull, and thank you, Christian. Thank you very much, everyone, for your support, for your super chats and your super stickers. Thank you. Christian, my first super sticker, 26th of August, 2022. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Ben Hood Borges Reis, Brazil. Boa tarde and welcome. Ambrose, they plan to place netting at the vessel now to catch any jumper. A little bit too late, unfortunately. So, UK, good evening to you. Oh my lord, R.I.P. Pheng. How terrible. It is terrible. It's very untimely. If I'm not mistaken, I'm saying this properly. Very, very early. He was only 39. This is horrible. So we're dedicating the stream to the memory of our chat friend, good chat friend Pheng. NY, good afternoon to you. Sally, rest in peace, Pheng. You will be forever missed. Look at the clouds. It was kind of like beginning to rain, and it stopped right away. So far, so good. When we eventually, soon enough, reach Hudson Yards area, we'll walk around vessel and see what's going on over there. Denja, thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you everyone. Thank you the Mighty Bull. Thank you Christian. Thank you Denja. Thank you so much. John Julio, may you rest in peace, Mr. Pheng. Baby, it's been raining on and off all day, and the sun, yes, on and off. Crazy weather. Kirk, so the vessel sound like a place to come and to commit when it first opened. Well, yeah, I guess this is what eventually happened more than once, and this is terrible too, because everyone who looked at it within a minute they were saying something like, this is highly likely and very unsafe, let alone accidents too that could have happened, because that was so low, it was cool as a design could be, but it was not cool to be on top of that structure with such a, but basically with a zero security up there. And why so sad about Pheng, rest in peace. And that's the vessel right there. Look at that. The fans or whatever that is called professionally, look how low that is compared to the height of a person. The bringer of life. Good call, Chris Hansen, for Pheng. Rest in power. Thank you so much, the bringer of life. Thank you so much as well for your constant support and your good words of support as well, and your amazing donations and contributions. Thank you so much, the bringer of life. Ruben, R.I.P. Pheng. Ambrose, people jumped from the George Washington Bridge for decades until they finally did something about it recently. Yes, now it looks ugly, but pretty safe. We walked there maybe a few weeks ago, less than a month. Yeah, it's just impossible to do it anymore. The Mighty Bull, watching, listening, learning, thinking, and enjoying. Rest in peace, Pheng. Bagel works. Wish they'd raise the glass significantly. I really don't think it would dramatically change how it looks. Yes, that is what had to be done. Like good 6 feet minimum. That would be even okay if they, covered the gaps completely with glass, but they didn't. Very unsafe. Now they have access to it, but only through the foundation, through the ground level. You can walk in, you can take pictures, you can look up, you can take pictures. If you're not satisfied, you can take more pictures, but you're not allowed to climb the stairs. This is the shed, and the shed is the space for exhibitions. Or performance space too. Summer sway, DJs dancing and dreams outdoor on Friday and select Saturday evenings. Oh, didn't know that. Let's see, August 26th, Friday. Yeah, DJ Reach Medina, Friday, August 26th. Let's keep that in mind. Not sure what time they start though, but we shall find out. What time you start?
We start at 5. The DJ's a little bit late, but he'll be here soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, 5 till about like 7:30.
Thank you. Oh, good here. Maybe we can get some performances here as well. This is Hudson Yards Mall. Local time in New York is 5:01 p.m. Christian, that building can expand in size with hydraulics, I believe. So video on it. Yeah, that has this massive wheel thingy structure, for the lack of a better word, right here on both ends of this front of the building, and kind of like a rail too, sort of. So as you can see, it can move the whole front, if needed, can be moved all the way to the end of this space, which is kind of crazy but awesome at the same time. Speaking of modern architecture, Hudson River is in front of us. Let's check out that area. Oh, something that says Jameson on it. Is that Irish? Let's take a look. Board alert. Let's see what we missed so far. So far so good. John, good evening. Are they closed for today? They usually have a bunch of people downstairs here going through, in and out. Yeah, I guess they're closed for today. This is the entrance to Vessel, and from here the stairs go all the way up. Jameson, Black Barrel. Oh, interesting. How interesting. Let's see. Look at this installation. This is the spot where we got before. We were here several times. They were promoting something else, like a water of some sort. Hi Hi, can I walk in?
Yeah, go right around the corner there. That's the entrance.
Do you have any exhibits going on, or like tours or something?
Yeah, the tours are down there.
Okay, so they have several facilities. One of them is a tour, which is not here. The other one is oh, they have a vessel store. How funny! They have no vessel, fully functional, and they have vessel store. Who would want to get it to show something that they can go all the way up? That's the whole. What's the whole point? If they're playing copyrighted music, we'll change it to something temporarily. Hi.
Need your ID.
Sure. Just a second. I want to make sure I'm over the legal age. Oh my god. Oh my god. I hope I am. I wish I wasn't though. So let him take a look at that. So what do we see here? We don't know yet what we see here. It's some sort of a bar, but no one is behind the bar, so we don't know exactly what this is yet. No, these are not.
She's gonna enter your name and then give it back.
And what is it for?
You get a ticket for a tasting, a sampling of either the orange Jameson sorbet or blackberry.
And you need a name for it? And, really?
You have to enter your name and birthday by law.
Gotcha. Very interesting, if you heard. Now I have to keep an eye on my ID while these girls are about to capture my age and name. Look at that. I don't even know how completely legal. I'll go to the full experience.
Enter your name and birthday.
It's one of them. You didn't choose. You can't get one. Think about it.
What can you not do for the free sample? We don't know yet what it's gonna be. I once had a bad experience in St. Louis when I was touring a very long time ago on Anheuser-Busch. Can you take it?
Yep. Thank you very much.
Welcome. So what do I do next? What do I do next?
Over there, you get a sample. There's either a Jameson orange sorbet or a small sample of the Jameson blackberry.
What I need to be?
And then there's also an individual.
Thank you. All right. So what we got so far? We got a driver's license back, and we got a ticket. We're gonna ticket. Ticket, very tiny ticket. That is a sample ticket. This is the ticket. Number ticket. Oh my god, I can't believe it's so official. Husband scary, remember being 23 and feeling old when they didn't ask. They're trying to say I got a baby face. Yeah, I wish I was. I had it. Everyone loves the marketing budgets as alcohol companies is really something. Oh, absolutely. Okay, so now we're approaching this one here. So we have two options. Jameson Black Barrel or Orange. It's a sorbet. It's not even. Oh wait, they give you a sorbet or they give you a drink. I'm not sure. So this is a fake thing right here. I mean, there's someone here, but definitely no action going on. Just a display. I hope YouTube will be nice to us right now.
I actually haven't eaten lunch yet, but I'm checking your name now. Okay, where were you? Over in the sampling thing, up there, down there, here, trying to find a shirt. Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely careful.
I'm good. Yeah, Mike just left like 10 minutes ago. Okay, sorry. No problem. I'll be back.
Alright, so what do you have to choose
I
from?
have Jameson Black Barrel, Jameson Orange, and then I have sorbet.
Jameson orange.
Orange. Come back, I'll do it.
Is it as strong as Black Barrel?
No, this is 30 ABV, or this is 40.
Gotcha.
Less.
Alright, so what we did, she didn't take the ticket, but she gave us a huge sample. This is a humongous sample of orange whiskey, I guess this is. Yeah, absolutely. I was watching them. They didn't do anything more than they were supposed to do with my information. NY, our boy Al at the bar. This is the, you call it the bar, NY? Look, I'm gonna show it to you one more time. By the way, I picked the weakest one out of the two. So it's pretty interesting. And what, cheers, Al? Well, you know what? I'm going to.
You gotta drink that before you leave.
Okay. Alright. Now, did you see that huge amount of alcohol in the open container? I was trying to take it outside of the perimeter and they didn't let me. They said you have to drink it inside. Fine. Fine. Orange vanilla Coke, says Ambrose. So, as I drink this sample, I will say R.I.P. Pheng. That was a mild orangey taste. It's, she said 30%, not 40% alcohol, so it's going to be less damaging to your. It's called Jameson Orange and Black Barrel. I'm good, thank you. Thank you. Never tried Jameson Orange before. That's a good strategy to let people try something they never tried before. Yeah, you cannot walk around New York City with a with an open container. It's a big violation. You can. Oh, now I'm gonna be sarcastic, so I will stop because I was gonna say about other violations and what happens or not happens to those who commit them. So we will just keep it aside from this chart. Hey Julio R. Ruben, prayers go out to Pheng and his loved ones. Absolutely. Ambrose, salute Pheng. This is not a live TV, live television. Maybe it is. It's a college football. Is it? Or is it a preview? It's not even college. Sorry, my bad. It's real football. Now they have distillery on tour. Interesting. Very interesting.
Time for the answer.
pretty comfortable area to sit, actually.
Orange mint shirt. Not me, I'm a double A. Somebody working?
Oh, cool! We got a ticket for the tour. The next batch of people will be allowed to go in 15 minutes at 5:30. So, and I asked if we can stream, and the lady said, "Sure, why not?" So, I guess we will hang out around here, and then we will experience amazing here at the public plaza outside of Hudson Yards Mall, where we're going to hopefully experience Jameson shop tour. They advertise it actually like from Ireland to New York. The ticket look exactly the same as the drink ticket. I shouldn't say drink ticket, the sample ticket. So I guess now I have two, because they didn't take the first one. Now I have two tickets. But that orange one was good. In all honesty, I mean, I'm not an expert, of course. Maybe I should be, but I'm not, because I don't have enough experience. Do we have a sound now? I think we have audio, right? We should have audio as well as video. Norman, good evening. Good to see you. Francesco Burlini, ciao from Cortina Dolomiti, Italia. Good afternoon, good evening to you. We are in Hudson Yards, and we are browsing here because we will go and stay in line for the next tour here, right here. It's a Jameson distillery on tour. So let's see how they can amaze us, and especially if they don't mind us streaming, why not? The bringer of love. I love the flooring to the plaza. Yes, it is very cool. Almost 100 people watching us. Welcome, welcome. We are browsing New York City. We walked we started at the beginning of at Meatpacking district to be exact, and then we walked along High Line into Hudson Yards area. We were able to get familiarized with the Jameson exhibit, so to speak. And they have two pavilions, one tiny one with a fake bar, but they give you samples of you have two options, and you have a sorbet. I'm not sure what that sorbet looks like, if it's infused, tastes like, if it's infused with something Jameson related or not, we don't know. But we tried the orange one, and that was very tiny sample. That was good. Tamara, good afternoon from Texas, everyone. Good afternoon, João Batista, boa tarde. Norman, this is a sad day for me, but I'm here, my friends. Yes, we all remember Pheng today. He passed yesterday at the age of 39. Such a sad news. Our condolences to his family and friends. Deepest condolences. He will be missed. 1-2, good evening. So therefore we have this text on our screens, R.I.P. Pheng, because it's just right to remember him. Norman Pheng loved me and I really loved him. We're going to walk a little around. The time is 5:19, so we should be right there, right there, a few steps away where that desk with 3 people in uniform standing. The next tour started at 5:30 approximately, so she asked us to be there by 5:30. 1-2, another great tour day. Thanks, you are very welcome. I guess some people get bored and leave the chat, but that's okay, they will be back. We, pacing slowly today because we want the stream to be, maybe more meaningful than all the other streams, because it's a sad day for all of us. Also, once we're done with this little tour, I hope that stage that we passed right over there will have some sort of entertainment as well. We will see. The problem with DJ is that, they always play copyrighted music, which is awesome. It's just, it's not awesome as far as YouTube concerns, so we will see how we're going to handle that. But I think taking a good look at Jameson distillery exhibit here, which I don't know, maybe 2 levels. I think 2 levels. They should be nice and have another sample. Let's see if they have a different variety of the same. No, I'm not getting drunk or even tipsy. How can you get tipsy with that amount? Alphabet, good evening to you. Welcome to the stream. Julie, hello to all the amazing. We all miss him, yes, we all miss him. Alphabet, I'm new, yes, and welcome to our chat, welcome to our stream, welcome to our channel, Live Working NYC. Welcome. One of our good chat friends passed away yesterday, and therefore we all remember him today. His name is Pheng, and he will be remembered. This is the vessel, and this is Hudson Yards. We are right here where the another prime location to live in. Millions and millions, over millions and millions of dollars. The reason why we're not moving too far from here now is because we're waiting for 5:30 and it's 5:23. We're waiting for 5:30 and it doesn't look like it is packed, but there will be people, but it will be normal. It's not going to be overcrowded. But yeah, this is Packers and Chiefs.
Tyler Davis, the intended target. There's Jalen Watson, but another flag is down.
It's actually a very nice way to watch the game, especially if you have I was going to say a beer, but no, you cannot have a beer unless you camouflage it into something else. But then other than that, it's very, very good weather for that. This area is called Backyard at Hudson Yards.
Right there by the left tackle. Getting a hand up in the face of Harry. Underneath that chin.
Alphabet, yes, Alphabet City in Manhattan. Where are you watching us from, Alphabet? Yeah, they're definitely having some sort of DJ type of activity right there at that stage. But our priority now is to see what kind of amazing tour that one will be. I'm hoping there will be a guide, and I hope we will hear some history of the company and maybe a few interesting facts about the technology. The Bringer of Life. Wow, that big screen outside. This stuff wasn't there when I lived in New York.
Running in the kicker. Oh, running into defense. All right. That pillar's decline.
Sponsored by Wells Fargo, as you can read on those seats.
That surprises me a little bit. I thought that was a little bit more roughy than running, but hey.
Yeah, at first glance, he didn't look very good. We'll see what the Chiefs offense can do when we come in.
I've traveled every road in this
And so,
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the desert, man. I've been the mountains.
must be a copyright music. I hear Johnny Cash. Alright, we're pretty far from the screen. We're not going to block it. Let's see what happens. This is Viking 180. Good evening. We're from the UK and just got back from New York vacation. Amazing city. Welcome to our chat. Welcome to our channel. This is Viking 180. Glad you enjoyed New York City. And why says hi to Norman. Ronald, we lost a good chat mates. R.I.P. Pheng.
T-Mobile for Business has 5G that's ready right now.
So let's go and wait. We'll be punctual. We have 4 minutes left. So doesn't look like they have any lines.
Who do you take it for?
Cracked windshield? Trust safely. We'll replace your glass and recalibrate your vehicle's camera.
So let's see how it looks from the outside. Jameson shop. Jameson shop sells bottles of Jameson. Looks like in a fancy, or maybe just souvenirs. Must be 21 or older to enter this space. This event is being filmed, recorded, and photographed for commercial purposes. By entering your consent to the use of your image, likeness, and so forth and so on. If you do not wish to be filmed, recorded, or photographed, please do not enter. Just like that.
Let's take a look at the Hy-Vee play of the half.
Well, Bouchel with the touchdown to Bushman. Big play, catching the Packers in a cover 2 look. Bouchel's able to get that corner to bite on the flat.
Ruben, hit that like button. Yes, please hit the like button. Thank you so much, Ruben.
And touchdown for the Chiefs.
So, where this line starts, where is the entrance? It's like Disney World. Where is the entrance? Look how they build this. So,
He'll have another chance right here.
Yeah, he'll have 3 timeouts in his pocket.
Very interesting. Now we'll stay in the line and wait for our turn.
Coleman was going to bring it out, but his foot.
In the meantime, we'll watch some football and see what happens.
Shane Bouchel. That touchdown they scored was late in the half in Chicago. There you see the numbers.
Off the hook.
Good numbers, 24-38, almost 250 yards.
Good evening.
Touchdowns.
This is Hudson Yards in New York City, in Manhattan.
Well, that's going to be the difficult spot for the Chiefs. Is they've had.
It's good to see new visitors here, new people who discovered our channel. Welcome everyone. And if you like our streams, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications. Thank you so much.
I think someone else would draw that attention.
Never personally saw Shad open up, but this structure here, the side of it, it can slide to the left, and probably the length of this, the width of this surface, it can go all the way on the front if need be.
Decision there to go to just shy of the first down. It'll bring up
Norman,
third and
thanks
short.
Al for this live stream. You're welcome as always.
Well, they're not using the timeout because it is third and short.
I got training. I just got training. Come in your computer.
If they can get the first down,
That's the same ticket.
you have those timeouts in your pockets.
Same tickets, I know. So where do I go? Straight there?
Michelle rolling to his right. Down, so it brings up fourth down.
Oh, they make it so official. It's not even funny. They have the same ticket for the sampling thing and for this one, so he is asking me where did I get the ticket. They should, the company of this magnitude should do slightly better logistics than this, but okay. It's a minor glitch on their end. 1-2, I tell all my friends about your channel. Thank you so very much, 1-2. This is about 30th, 31st Street. If you look at the map, it's on the west side, all the way on the west side. If you, let's say, search in the maps, any maps, and you click and you search by Hudson Yards, you will be able to see.
Excellent customer service 24 hours a day. It's the official self-storage provider for the Kansas City Chiefs. Find a clean, affordable unit near you and rent online at storage-mart.com.
All right, let's. Now look. Now they're gonna football me back to that.
The tour probably start in about 10 minutes right over there. You wait in that line if you'd like.
30 for the Packers.
See, so one person says it starts at 5:30. Other one says it starts at 5:40. Logistics.
Williams and Cook in coverage. Let's stick with Brian Cook for a moment. You were talking about
1-2, 34th Street and Hudson
his
River.
college career in Cincinnati was his ability to play the run and the pass. He was only one of 4 DBs.
So now we have a few people in front of us, but that's fine.
10 passes defended.
Well, that's the thing that people have to understand. Yeah, he's a safety, he's a big guy, comes down, tackles, all those things. But he started out his career
And
as a quarterback.
sorry about the delay, and I know we're kind of idle and a little boring right now because we're not moving anywhere, but hopefully we're about to learn something new about this company called Jameson from Ireland.
Put together a heck of a season, was all conference.
We're trying to be as diplomatic as possible because we want to be age-friendly here as well.
Friendships develop, and he and Trent McDuffie became fast friends. Their roommates spent a ton of time together.
So we'll just enjoy this large screen right now.
So great to see the young guys coming
And
together.
Packers
not
and
just on the
Chiefs
field,
game.
And in the locker room, but spending time together off the field.
Well, and you mentioned the fact how many young corners and rookie corners and
I know what YouTube's gonna do with this during the during the Olympic Games when we were taking, uploading shorts. YouTube was blocking the shorts because they said that content is copyrighted by NBC or something like this.
Clock stopped with 27 seconds.
So those are happy campers who probably done with the first floor and now they're going to the second floor.
Hey, Chiefs fans, bringing wings to the tailgate.
This stream is dedicated to Pheng, our good chat friend that unfortunately passed at the age of 39 yesterday, and we remember him today.
Cocktail recipes and learn more. Please drink responsibly, and that graphic is right. Our good friends in Canada, no E in the whiskey.
So I know we may lose our audience right now, and I see it on the counter, but of course it's boring, but I'm just letting you know that we're only here statically because we are waiting for this tour to begin, and we don't want to, step out of the line because who knows how many people they have on the tour.
Get rid of it, and he skips it in there. It'll bring up third down. Well, those are two of the very best to play the position, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. And Rodgers, got to be pleased. He's all set to finish his career in Green Bay. Get those two guys on the field. That's a
In the meantime, we
TV.
enjoyed the architecture of Hudson Yards.
But when will that be? When will he stop playing? When,
Yeah, right.
You know, he said he didn't want to play as long as Brady, but I don't know. Brady's going to play as long as Brady. So.
Right. Well, so now is plus 40 just seems to be the norm. Jordan Love down the field, and that's picked up. And Cook on the return.
So to set your expectations, according to that bearded dude that is right there doing nothing but chit-chatting right now, the next tour, hopefully that's a more or less correct information, should start within 10 minutes.
Middle of the field, and it's Sales on Cook coming up with the interception. I think the flag that's on the field is going to be probably a peel-back block. A lot of times when it happens behind...
So in the meantime, if you want to take a break or do anything else, I don't know how long before they will let us in, but for now we're standing here and idle.
I think you're right. I think he meant 35, but he called 25.
Here's an eye on Cook as he drops back into deep coverage. Not a whole lot of room there for Love to drop that ball in. As I said, it sailed a little
Wawan,
bit.
good morning from
Cook was in
Indonesia and
position.
hi from Hudson Yards. We're waiting for
Block in the back.
our turn to go on this tour of Jameson Pavilion.
All right. Final seconds tick off the clock. A fun first half here in Kansas City. Game time at 10.
Oh, got this here from them over there. Right, and then you already know one of them over there. Perfect. Thank you.
Don't go anywhere. Final preseason game is the Chiefs. Prepare for the 2022 season.
I miss Jim. Ever since we started looking for a rewards credit card, he's been on the fence about which one to go
Derek,
with.
hey there, NYC, Superfan, and people.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Good evening, Derek,
You know what,
from Hudson Yards, New York City.
Top credit cards? That way you can be sure you're making the smartest decision when it comes to earning rewards on hotels and flight tickets.
And that's a vessel.
So we can go to Hawaii.
Currently closed until they make it more secure.
Yes, I need a ladder. Yes.
NerdWallet, the smartest decision for all your financial decisions.
Oh wow, what an unexpected. See, I mean, seriously, two people giving incorrect information, but this is just a tour, so we're not going to complain.
I'm switching now.
The network you want, the price you
It's only 9 minutes earlier than the guy said the tour will start, so let's see, let's enjoy.
Come on in, everybody. All three tables are the same. Both sides of each table are the same. We've got all kinds of room. Thanks, Tom. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Jameson Distillery on tour experience. My name is Adair. Good old Irish name, so you know you can trust me. And I'll be taking care of you today. I'll get a few logistical things out of the way. The tables that you're standing at represent different stages of our process, and we are going. So, if you are posting later on social media, go ahead and use our hashtag Jameson Distillery NYC. I feel like I'm forgetting another logistic thing. I'll throw it in there later. Good news and bad news to get started. Good news is we'll do a little bit of a tasting when we go upstairs. Bad news is that you're stuck with me until then. But your patience will be well rewarded. Our tasting today is based on a time-honored tradition at the Jameson Distillery known as the Daily Grog. It goes way back, and it's a glass of whiskey given to workers at the end of their workday, or in our case, the end of our time together today. Everything you need to know about Jameson is either in the bottle or on the label. Beginning with the name. John Jameson is our founder, and just underneath the name you'll see our family crest, and just beneath that, our family motto, Sine Metu, which is the Latin for without fear. Now that phrase defined John and has defined our whiskey ever since. We like to push the boundaries at Jameson. Ever since the first day, John Jameson triple distilled our whiskey, putting taste at the heart of everything that we do. Now there are many characters in the Jameson story, but there's only one founder. It all began when an enterprising John Jameson set up shop on Smithfield in the north side of Dublin. Now, Dublin was in the midst of a boom, and its population was growing dramatically. It was the second largest city in Britain and Ireland. And at the time, there were over 100
breweries and distilleries throughout the city. Many of those would fade away in due course. Now, few may have guessed it at the time, but Dublin had just gained an institution that would remain on its city's north side more than 2 centuries later. John Jameson's distillery on Bow Street. The distillery grew, and so did their family. His father had imparted to him of hard work, innovation, and unmatched quality. Now, by 1820, the distillery looked like this, and between 1880 and 1905, the distillery was running on all cylinders. Now, the Jameson name is the one on the label, but the legacy of our whiskey is truly shared. If you look closely at each and every bottle of Jameson, you'll find 2 barrelmen. There's one on the back of the neck here, and there's one hidden on the bottom of the bottle. And these 2 men carrying barrels on their backs represent the hard workers, both past and present, who built our whiskey from the ground up. When you get right down to it, our story is told by the barrelmen. Now, Bow Street was like a city within the city of Dublin. It was a bustling place filled with highly skilled craftspeople. In fact, the Jameson distillery was so self-sufficient that if you look at the wage books in our archives, you'll find carpenters, millwrights, painters, blacksmiths, and even ostlers. Ostlers are the gentlemen there taking care of the horses. Now, they all took great pride in their work. John Jameson and Son had a reputation for being excellent employers. Once you had a job there, you generally had a job for life. At its peak, the Jameson distillery employed 300 people, thus supporting hundreds of families throughout Dublin. And by the late 1880s, Jameson was producing 1 million gallons of whiskey every single year. That comes out to $6.5 million each year. In the 1880s was no small feat. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of our time together the tradition of the daily grog, a glass of whiskey given to workers at the beginning and the end of every workday. However, if you had what was known as a dirty job, you were entitled to an extra glass. So while mucking up the horse stalls or cleaning the chimneys might be especially messy, you were handsomely rewarded. Enterprising employees looking for a little bit of an extra sip might roll around in dust or dirt before presenting themselves to the foreman and saying that they too had a dirty job. Others enjoyed a spot of tea. Now, one of the very first things that a new Jameson employee was taught was to never, under any circumstances, light the gas flame underneath the teapot in the tea room. Managers knew there was whiskey hidden in there somewhere, but they could never seem to find it. Each and every morning, the innocent tea kettle was filled with fresh make whiskey, and workers would pop in throughout the day for a refreshing cup of tea. Now, just like we do at our Bow Street distillery, everybody's going to have a chance to taste a little whiskey today, but I promise nobody's rolling around in dirt or dust or sneaking it from a teapot. Always nice to have a little taste of life back in the day. Now, John Jameson and Son had begun shipping its Irish whiskey all over the world. More and more people were enjoying the triple distilled smoothness and incomparable taste. Sadly, time and history in the form of military and political turmoil intervened. War broke out around the world not once, but twice. There was conflict within Ireland as well. Due to its prime location, our Bow Street distillery became a fortress during the 1916 Easter Rising. Now, despite the troubled times, Jameson generosity prevailed. Due to the imposition of martial law, none of the workers could gain access to the distillery for 2 weeks. But if we consult our wage books in our archives, shows that everyone was paid their full wages during the shutdown. Just when things looked like they might start picking up again, progress was halted by the imposition of restrictive trade tariffs by Britain and the effects of prohibition here in the United States. American bootleggers actually used to label had reached rock bottom. Drawing on the legacy of John Jameson's spirit of innovation, the guardians of the whiskey that bears his name decided that it was time to sink or swim. And other Irish whiskey makers had come to the same conclusion. So in 1966, after centuries of rivalry, Jameson joined forces with John Power and Sons, and the Cork Distillers Company to form the Irish Distillers Group, also known as Whiskey's Big Three. And this is a group that still stands proudly today. While the spirit of Jameson lives on in Dublin, where John Jameson perfected the art of whiskey making, the heart now lies in Middleton, in the south of Ireland, where our product is distilled and matured to satisfy the growing global demand. Now, Middleton is the perfect place to make the highest quality tasting Irish whiskey. Our heritage of hard work and innovation continues. Our whiskey is steeped in craft and legacy, but our whiskey maker masters in Middleton are always exploring new techniques and new ingredients to reflect the growing taste of today's whiskey drinkers, like all of us. Jameson is truly a people story. It's about the barrelmen, it's about the makers, and it's about the masters who are dedicated to living up to 242 years of heritage. And it's about all of us who enjoy the smooth taste of Jameson Irish whiskey. We are all the barrelmen. John Jameson began our story on Bow Street, and it's up to all of us to continue it today. It all comes back to taste. One sip, and you'll know exactly why. Concludes our history lesson for today. So we're going to move subjects. We're going to go from history on over to science, where we're going to learn a little bit more about what goes into making each and every bottle of Jameson Irish whiskey. Whiskey making is a combination of art and science. And our masters in Middleton oversee many different processes that go into making each and every bottle. But today I'll break it down into 3 key steps. The first is preparing our quality ingredients. Now the word whiskey derives from the Irish ishkabaha. You can kind of hear it. Ishka sort of turned into whiskey. And ishkabaha means water of life. The Dungorny River that flows through our Middleton distillery is the life source of our whiskey making operation. The second ingredient needed to make great whiskey is barley. And we generally use barley that is grown within 100 miles of our Middleton distillery. We also use premium non-GMO corn or maize, but we import that from France. As anybody who has already visited Ireland may know, we don't get quite enough sunshine in Ireland to grow our own corn. Jameson is one of only a handful of whiskeys in the world that is produced using 2 different types of barley. The first is unmalted. Now, unmalted barley is simply barley that is taken straight from the field and goes straight into production. It's still intact with the husk, so it's incredibly hard. And the use of the unmalted barley imparts that creamy mouth-coating texture that you associate with Jameson, and it's also going to add a little bit of spice. Now it would follow that if the first type is unmalted barley, the second type must be malted barley. Malted barley is produced in a malt house, where it is soaked in water and then kept in humid conditions for up to 5 days to start the germination process. Basically what we're doing there is we're just tricking the barley into thinking that it's spring, so that it will start to release the sugars and the enzymes needed for fermentation. Then we're going to add a little bit of heat to stop that germination process, leaving those sugars ready for us to use. So now that's malt, dried, germinating barley. When we made whiskey at our Bow Street location, we used traditional malting tiles in a traditional malting house, just like the ones right on the center of your table. With the unmalted barley, don't eat it. It's incredibly hard. I don't want anybody headed off to the dentist on my account. But you can roll it around in your hand. You should get a little bit of a grassy aroma from that unmalted barley. And then there's a little slot there to the left of your barley. You can pop any used barley in there. And then move over to the malted barley. You'll notice if you roll that around in your hands, it's much softer. It might break apart a little bit. And if you get your nose right, stick for our barley. So when we heat it on those malting tiles, we use clean, hot air. Some of our friends over in Scotland will burn turf or peat when they kiln their barley. And that's going to give it that smoky flavor that we generally associate with Scotch. Just got a couple more steps in our first preparing of our ingredients. First, we're We're going to mill it into grist. Then we're going to add water and heat in a mashing process. What we're doing there is we're simply trying to extract as much of the flavor and the sugar as we possibly can. We'll filter that mash into a liquid called wort and then add yeast. Now yeast is going to go to work right away, eating away at all of those sugars, producing carbon dioxide and, most importantly, everybody's favorite, alcohol. Now this is a process called fermentation, and it results in a type of distiller's beer known as wash. And it's about 10% alcohol by volume. If you've ever visited a brewery, this is a very similar process. If you've ever seen those big vats that have got that very foamy top and real strong aroma, that's wash. But we're not making beer at Jameson, we're making whiskey. So on to our second step, distillation. So up here you'll see 3 pot stills and 3 column stills. Through repeated trials and tastings, John Jameson developed our signature triple distillation process. Here's how it works. We're going to take that wash and put it into this first still, the wash still. Add heat and bring that to a boil. And the vapors that rise are incredibly high in alcohol, allowing them to escape the neck, leaving the water behind. Now their freedom is short-lived. They'll be processed through a condenser and returned as liquid. Take that distillate, and we'll move on to our second still. This is called the Pheng still. Now the distillate that we receive here is getting much closer, but it still didn't have that smoothness that John Jameson wanted. He found that by distilling 3 times, makes the whiskey twice as smooth. So on to our third and final distillation is the spirit still. Now by using these old-fashioned copper pots for our malted and unmalted barley, we've created what is known as pot still whiskey, or the quintessential type of Irish whiskey. At our Middleton distillery, we also make a second type of whiskey called grey whiskey, and this is made with the malted barley and maize. This goes through a much more efficient and modern process known as column or continuous still distillation. I'll draw your attention back to your tables. On the lower left-hand corner of your table, you've got the distilling station. And if you want to pick up one of these little white cards, everybody's going to get to act as if you were in your favorite perfume shop or testing out your favorite cologne. Now, the atomizers on the table don't actually lift, but get your card right down on there and start on your right-hand side with the pot still atomizer. Give it a spray, and then a little wave around will let some of the alcohol evaporate. And then get your nose right down in there. From the pot still, you'll get a very robust smell, and you'll get a real sense of the barley. You can kind of smell, it smells a little bit like barley. Same little slot there, right to the right of your cards. Pop those away. And you can do the exact same thing with your column still atomizer. Now this is that more efficient, modern process. And the column still atomizer, you're going to get the grain whiskey flavor will be much more floral and light and delicate. And we want all of these characteristics in our final product. So when we blend our whiskey towards the end of the process, we're going to use both the grain distillate and the barley distillate. So now we've got this great spirit. We're ready to move on to our third and final step, which is maturation. For the maturing Jameson whiskey, we use 2 different types of casks. From America, we get American whiskey or bourbon barrels, and from Spain, we get sherry barrels. Now, their previous employment allows them to pass on part of their personalities to our whiskey. So again, if I can draw your attention to your maturation station down in the lower right-hand corner, you've got 2 different caps there. You've got a bourbon barrel and a sherry barrel. You can pop that cap off of the bourbon barrel. You can smell the cap, or you can get, for the brave among you, you can get your nose right down to the barrel and get a sense of the bourbon or the American whiskey. What you'll get there is probably very, very sweet. A lot of vanilla, a little bit of the toasted wood. And then you can move on over to the sherry barrel. And this will be a completely different characteristic that it adds to our whiskey. From the sherry barrel, you should get nuts and figs, dried fruit. Which reminds me a little bit of Christmas. So we'll take our grain distillate and our barley distillate, and we we will age them in separate barrels. There is a great amount of give and take between the wood and the spirit. The reactions that occur in the barrel give the whiskey its true characteristic. One more time, just draw your eyes back to your tables. You'll see the beakers there. You go from new make, 1 year, 3 year, 7 year. And you'll notice that they get a little bit darker as they take on more and more characteristics of the wood. But you'll also notice that there's a little bit less as time goes on. We lose 2% of our whiskey every year to what's known as the angel's share. Now 2% might not sound like a whole lot, but it comes out to 33,000 bottles every single day, or a bottle every 3 seconds. So we like to think that we have many, many happy angels flying around. And as you can see behind me, our whiskey is ready to be blended and bottled and ready to be enjoyed. So I think it's time to head upstairs and let the whiskey do the talking for itself. If you'll follow me, we can head on up to our tasting. Everybody watch their eyes, it's still bright outside. Watch your step on the stairs.
Oh, that's exciting. Sorry about the bad signal. I don't know. All of a sudden, didn't have any huge obstacles or thick walls, but hopefully here on the second floor is going to be flawless. Thank you for your patience as always. Hi, Peter Rock and Tackle World.
Or taste the Black Barrel or the Jameson Orange. So one of those three. If you'd like to do the tasting here, please just take your ticket and pop it right down on the table and we'll pour from here, please. Yes, if you'd like to do one of the other ones, you're welcome to stay and listen.
Jameson or the Jameson
Yeah,
Orange.
so it entitles you to one of the three.
No, natural here.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Sure. Yeah, you can come right on back and yes, absolutely. If you've still got your ticket, the Jameson Orange or the Jameson Black Barrel. Yep, at the other experience. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That was great. That was very good.
Oh, thank you so much. So yeah, anybody who wants to do the tasting here, just pop your ticket down on the table and we'll come around and pour for you.
I guess we should do it now.
It is neat. So it's just Jameson neat, so. Sure. The Black Barrel, the two other options are the Black Barrel or the ice cream. Unreal. I need it in my freezer. I'm dying to taste it.
Okay, it's up to you. Do you want it or not? There's other options.
And we will say rest in peace, Pheng again.
Have a little bit of whiskey in front of them. Still deciding.
Ready, you got a ticket?
So go now?
Yeah, we're good here.
Oh, you good?
No, she's gonna do the presentation.
Oh,
Okay, perfect.
You guys good?
Oh, you?
Okay.
Yep, you've got it. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, everybody. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our glasses, for those of us who are tasting, hold them up, tilt them to a 45-degree angle, and give them a little bit of a roll around, and then return it to level. You should see that you've left a bit of a film around the inside of the glass. There it is. A little bit of film around the inside of the glass, and there's just droplets that will start to form. Does anybody know what those are called? But on a wine tasting, oh, you know it.
I know it, but I can't.
You know it. In America, we call those the legs, little droplets that start to form. But Ireland is a little bit more poetic than we are, and they call those the tears in the whiskey. So they call those the tears. And next time you're in a bar or a pub, if you want to show off a little bit, a lighter bodied whiskey will form tears more quickly and they'll drop down the side of the glass more quickly, whereas a heavier or more oily bodied whiskey will form them more slowly and they will drop down the side of the glass more slowly. Jameson Original that you have in your hand there is a medium bodied whiskey, so you get quick tears and some slow tears. Next up, we're going to smell our whiskey, and there is a very specific way to do this. You're going to get your nose right down in the glass and leave your mouth open. You should actually be able to almost taste the whiskey when you're smelling it, so keep leaving your mouth open, allows it to pass all the way onto your palate. And if you feel a little silly, we'll do it right along with you, I promise. So get your nose right down in there, and mouth open. And if you can't quite put a finger on what you're smelling, there's some words there on the table in front of you. It's always really sweet to me right off the bat. Maybe I'll get sweet or spicy in particular. Spicy. Spicy? So hits you first? Yeah, absolutely. Now the spiciness, as you might remember from downstairs, comes from that unmalted barley, so that really hard unmalted barley. Whereas the sweet comes from the malted barley or the corn or the maize. All right, here we go. Best part, ready to taste. Generally, when tasting whiskey, you want to leave it on your tongue for 1 second for every year that the whiskey was matured. So on average, our Jameson Original is matured for 5 years. So go ahead and take a sip and leave it on your tongue for about 5 seconds. Smooth, sweet, really sweet. So you got the spicy on the inhale and then the sweet on the tongue. Yep, absolutely. You'll notice that it's a very smooth drink that comes from our 3rd distillation process, that triple distillation. No wrong way to enjoy Jameson. We're drinking it neat today. It goes great on the rocks, a little bit of water, or in your favorite cocktail. I'm an old-fashioned girl. I always like my Jameson in an old-fashioned cocktail. So if you'd like to continue the experience today, you've got your phones out. There are some QR codes on both ends of our table here. Those will point you to some local bars, but Jameson's pretty ubiquitous, so any liquor store or pub, you should be able to find Jameson. So for those of us who are drinking, we can go ahead and finish off our Jameson with a cheers to the barrelmen everywhere. I like to welcome you all to the Jameson community with a Sine Metu on 3. 1, 2, 3. Sine Metu. Sluncha.
Rest in peace, Pheng.
I will be hanging around downstairs. If you have any questions, we'll exit out that same door and take the stairs down to our left, where you'll pass our gift shop. You'll get some exclusive Jameson NYC merch, and I'll be very happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it.
I was actually enjoying it.
Oh,
So that's over to the Hamptons, so guess I'm bringing some.
yeah, there you go. Well, now there's all kinds of information to show off.
Exactly, like, see,
I think this is about to be the end of this tour, the Jameson tour. And that's Jameson's store that sells jackets, t-shirts, and cups. They don't even have price tags on them and umbrellas, and this is why they don't really do anything with the store. Oh, let's listen to this guy.
So the whiskey can penetrate easier. It's a really important process. You can't make whiskey unless you toast or char the wood, or the same for wine even. In the wine business, they don't necessarily char, they just go to toast.
H362,
was replacing this stave where we get the right width, the right length.
Hey, Greg.
Put it back in.
Hey, Moises.
And
hey,
close the whole thing up. Now if you want to put your phone maybe on boomerang, because I'm going to knock it down, and you see it go down and come up and go down and come up. I have no idea how to do it, but you can get it yourselves. Alright? I'll give you a count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, how does that work out? We put that there. And if I can get somebody to give me a hand, maybe this gentleman here. So what I have here is a master. Who this gentleman give me a hand? Very good. So you just want to hand me all the stage from this end. This end, hand me this end. So if you want to come from stage, and I'm going to assemble them inside the barrel, like that. So if you keep handing it to me, exactly. Thank you very much. What's your name? Ada, very good. So I'm putting a set of staves together with the help of Ada. And typically in an American barrel, you have 27, 28, possibly 29 staves. These long pieces are called staves. If I was on my own, I would just assemble them against another barrel and then pull them out and sell them. So how this tradition started was that when a wine barrel would empty in ancient Rome, say, in England, what the Romans discovered was, if we, thank you, we can't smell the whiskey off it, to ship the barrel back from, say, England back to Rome, they discovered by dismantling the barrel like this. Thank you, Ian. Thank you very much for your help. And so what they did was disassemble a casket, what we call a shuck. So bunch of staves, bunch of hoops, bunch of heads, goes back to Italy and remake the barrel, which exactly is what I'm going to do. So I start off with a wide one up against my leg. I then go with a narrow one. So I'm trying to make a circle. So I want to get even pieces around. If I put all the wide ones on one side, I'll end up with an egg-shaped barrel, and I'll never get the lid in. So I want to try and be careful how I assemble it, that I can get as many wide ones as I can. And then we'll go with this wide one here. So when I started in making barrels with my dad 47 years ago, I would do 5 of these starting at 9 AM, and by 10 I'd have 5 done. Now you had to mark your work so that if you got a leak or something happened to it, they could trace it back to me. So you could work as fast as you like, but you still had to do quality work. So that's what I'm doing. I'm reassembling the cask. And the only thing I haven't done with this cask, this barrel, is I haven't numbered the pieces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it goes back exactly the same way it came apart. But if I was making a brand new barrel, this is how I would assemble the whole thing. By and now there's a story I tell, and I told this earlier as well. It wasn't unusual to work in the distillery and not have a drink throughout the day. But by 4 o'clock, maybe 4:30, you know, you've had a good few drinks and you're not the best. But you decide, I think I'll make a start for tomorrow. I'll start one up. And as my dad used to say, that guy is well away with the fairies, he's well drunk. So the last couple going from the outside, if I'm not careful here now and I lift the hoop too much, the whole thing will come down again, and we don't want that on video. The last one from the outside. And the Cooper, who's had a few drinks, is not paying attention, and his cask starts to go a bit diagonal. So anytime you saw a diagonal cask in a warehouse, you call it a drunken barrel. So, because the guy who made it was as drunk as the Lord when he made it. So we'll keep it straight, give it a shake, try and straighten it. I need to get that groove perfectly straight. So I'm going to throw back on my hoops. Like that. And then, put that on. So I'm going to tighten that up now. Lock out my staves, kind of get them all even. And then start to tighten. Now I'm finished with this hoop, which is my master hoop. That's the size that gives me the size of my barrel. That's only for making barrels. That when it's tight and level with the top of the barrel, that's my size. We keep that back here. And tighten it up a bit more.
That's pretty cool, the old technology.
Straighten all my staves. Get them all a bit straight. Get the groove level. So even if I'm a little bit out, and any mistake I make a mistake putting this together, or make a mistake with the groove, when I fill it, it'll leak. So I can't be making any mistakes. I want my barrel to hold whiskey for 30 or 40 years if possible.
Our phone is extremely overheat right now, so in case if all of a sudden we stop transmission, that's because the phone turns off by itself. But hopefully it will not happen.
And the front of the cask, the rivets always line up at the front. It's horizontal when they're facing up. And we could put in, oh, there's another piece out to fall down there on me. Maybe that gentleman can try and reach in there and get it for me. And what I do is I put in this one. Like that. I prefer these lids to be down. Makes my job a bit easier. Yeah, I can throw it down there. And I will throw that one in there. No, not too bad. Tighten it up a little bit. Now I can put on my next hoop, my top hoop, get the rivets lined up. Now, that's nearly done. Turn up the other way. Put on my next hoop. Has anybody any questions they'd like to ask about making barrels or history? Now, the other thing that happens with barrels is we get a lot of whiskey out through the cask called angel share. In Ireland, it's about 2%. Kentucky, it can be 5, 6, 7%. So, to put that in perspective, with 1.9 million barrels in Middleton, in Ireland, losing 2%, we lose about 76,000 bottles of Jameson every single day to the Angels. It's more in Kentucky because the weather's a lot better down there. I want to get my stave straight again. And then we'll tighten up another bit with the next hoop. Now, the other thing that's important as well is the lines of the head are to face up with the front of the barrel. The direction of the grain is this way. So when the barrel is lying horizontal and the grain is coming from floor to ceiling, it can take the weight of the next barrel on top. So it's important to get the grain and the lid running the right direction. We'll try and get this in here now. And then this last one in. Oh, it's not too bad.
Thank you, everyone, to have a wonderful evening.
And the last one is this one. And we're back to square one. So thank you for watching. Make inquiries here about doing the visitor centre tour. We learn all about the craft of making whiskey and the effect of wood and everything else. And please have a Jameson later on. Thank you.
That's the guy. I think that's the guy on the poster.
Good working. Good work.
Another good one, my man.
Wow. Greg Buckley. Gerd Buckley, Jameson's head cooper. A true craftsman in the purest form of the word. 5th generation Middleton Cooper, who uses the same methods and tools as his grandfather. His passion stems not only from his family's lineage, but also from his fascination with the varied attributes his preferred source material allows. Overseeing the supply and maintenance of all the barrels that Jameson is matured in, Gerd is responsible for ensuring that the distillery's 1 million oak casks are in peak condition at all times. However, it is his passion for the product and the end of that process that Gerd takes most pleasure in. He proudly states that 50% of a whiskey's taste comes from the wood, so the wood and the distillation process have the equal effect on the taste. Taste responsibly. That was very interesting. And welcome everyone. We're just reminding you that this stream is dedicated to the memory of our good chat friend Pheng, who passed yesterday at the age of 39. Rest in peace. We're going over to Coney Island tonight. No, today's Friday. They will have fireworks, of course, but no, we're not going to Coney Island. We will stay in the city. Increase, yes, unfortunately. This is the sad news we learned today, and this is very sad. Rev Dranger, hey, good evening. R.I.P. Pheng. DJ is going on, DJ on the stage is going on right there, but that's very loud music, of course. We will not be into loud music today. We will walk in the opposite direction. Thank you everyone for watching. We're streaming today. We started at Meatpacking District and we walked High Line and we came to Hudson Yards, and now we are in Midtown in Hudson Yards area. Thank you so much for all of your support and all of your amazing donations and contributions. Thank you for your likes and for your shares. If you share the links, it's much appreciated. If you're watching us and you're not subscribed yet, we invite you to subscribe with all notifications. Lanternflies are flying around us right now. Not too many, but we see them more and more every day. They are invasive species, and there's no way to fight with them. They just multiply. Local time in New York is 6:20 p.m. and we're streaming for 2 hours and 11 minutes so far. Hey, Jean Albano, or Jean Albano. Hey, good evening to you. Welcome to the stream and thank you for your like. This is the entrance to the 34th Street Hudson Yard subway station on the 7 line. So if you come into Hudson Yards, then this is your stop if you're taking the subway train. Of course, you can take other stops and other lines and just walk, but this one is the closest to it. Welcome everyone to the stream. We are in Midtown Manhattan, live stream from New York City. Today is Friday, August 26, 2022. Another tower is building here. Don't see any windows on this side. That's pretty interesting. Probably there will be another wall. That corner that is sticking out right now probably will be covered by the whole room space with a window. We'll see. Right now it looks just like a tower with no window on this side. Jacob Javits Center is right there. The big exhibits take place, the largest ones in New York City take place at Jacob Javits Center. This is West 34th Street and Hudson Boulevard East. Now we're walking toward Hudson River, but we will probably enter High Line there. There should be one of the entrances, actually. I don't know why we crossed the street, but we can cross it back. The sun is still up. It's 6:24. Sunset will probably be in approximately 1 hour and a half. Hudson River is in front of us, and the state of New Jersey on the other side. Ah, it's windy here. To High Line, right there across the street, so we'll see. First we'll cross here. This is Jacob Javits Center. Across West 34th Street. This is 11th Avenue. Oh, I guess this is what's supposed to be the entrance to High Line, or the end of a High Line, or the beginning. How long this fence? Let's see if it's open. is a mega bus stop. Mega bus is a budget bus that goes all over the country. Like from here you can go to Washington, to Baltimore, and then transfer to go west, Philadelphia and Boston. It's a pretty cool double-decker bus. Never took it, but it must be fun, pretty comfortable. Chris, Lou's glorious weather. Yeah, the weather is good today. It was very hot and humid, but now it's better because the sun is setting. It's getting a little bit better, a little windier. Yes, this is the entrance to High Line from the other end, from West 34th Street, which is good, it's still open, so we can take a walk. Are we still live? Our chart is kind of froze, so I'm not sure if we're still live or not, so please let us know. Yeah, looks like it's good. Nasser, Faraj, hello, good evening. And welcome to the stream. We are walking High Line, but this time we entered it from the opposite side. Therefore, this is the portion of High Line that we did not walk today yet. And why? Thank you. Native New Yorkers are there an equal amount of pizza places and hot dog carts. Some say in the new millennium there are more New York City pizzerias than hot dog stands. Probably more pizzerias. Hot dog stands, they're more situated and they're more compact, and they are located mostly where the tourists are. And pizzerias are everywhere. Definitely a lot more pizzerias than hot dog places. This used to be a freight train path, elevated freight train, and if you see this railways, this is left here to show everyone what it was before. This is something that was planned to be removed at some point, but there was a group of people who fought for it, and they preserved it and they saved it, and slowly but surely they made a walking park out of it, which is basically was an amazing thing because they turned this whole area into a completely different thing compared to what it could have been. This is 34th Street. We see Empire State Building there. Empire State Building on 5th Avenue. We are on 10th or 11th, so to speak. So pretty far, and yet not so far, walking distance. This is Hudson Yards with the vessel in the center. Chris, we have Megabus in the UK too. You're still live. Don't think I have seen this part of New York before. Jean host the stream. I will learn your name so I can politely address you with it. My name is Al. A-L-L. Thank you for this wonderful stream from historic New York City. Yeah, the vessel is right. We actually walked around it too. It's vessel and entrance to the mall right behind. The sky is awesome now. It was kind of cloudy 2 hours ago, and now it is awesome. Definitely not going to rain anytime soon. This is Hudson River and New Jersey on the other side. This is heliport right here somewhere. Because we just saw the helicopter took off. Yeah, it is a magnificent view. And what you see in front of us, those buildings, you might think it's New York City, but no, it's New Jersey. It's across Hudson River. It just looks like it. That's Hoboken and Jersey City right there in front of us on New Jersey side. Those trains are Long Island Railroad depots. Those are not subway trains. They look very similar, but those are Long Island Railroad. L-I-R-R. L-I-R-R. Long Island Railroad. That's a depot. We are live walking NYC. We are one of the channels streaming live and posting videos from New York City. If you subscribe, we thank you so much. And if you're not subscribed yet, we invite you to subscribe with all notifications. This way you will never miss anything on our channel. These are the views of Hudson Yards and the top of Empire State Building right there in the center. We are on High Line in New York City. This portion of High Line is curving around Hudson Yards with a Long Island Railroad depot. Train depot is down there. Malibu, long walk today. Yeah, we taking the opportunity to enjoy the weather if we can, and have a walk as meaningful as we could possibly. I just want to remind that we are remembering Pheng today. Pheng is our chat friend and friend of many YouTube channels. Amazing person, and he passed yesterday, and we will remember him. I like a little man walking across the screen, the Malibu testing. Yep, that little one is my mini-me. We are approaching the entrance to Hudson Yards from Highline. We approached it from the other end, and right now we will be passing from this side of the Highline, but we're not going to go back because we just came from there. By the way, that tour of Jameson was pretty good. Unfortunately, the signal first level of that pavilion, the signal was bad, but for the most part it was like 50-50 as soon as we walked upstairs. It was good, and overall the lady was pretty informative, and she, it was a very brief but informative tour explaining the history and the technology behind the Jameson products. We've been walking for 2 hours and 30 minutes and 21 seconds so far. May rest in paradise. Yep. This is 10th Avenue, and we see the back of that area where we took the tour. So it says Jameson Distillery on tour. Big sign. Tenth Avenue northbound and southbound. Listening, watching, learning the mighty bull. Thank you for that. It's windy here, which is kind of pleasant. With this temperature that was pretty high all day. Perhaps it will rain later tonight, but for now we're good. So that's the shed, and that is that construction that is moving. It's capable of moving if needed. It's pretty heavy structure, but Interesting design. Another look at the vessel. That's Little Spain or Little Mercado. As a part of the mall, it has, we walked through there many times. It has so many different Spanish restaurants and cuisines in there, like from Spain, from Europe, European. Very interesting place, very, very interesting. And we are back on Highline. Just walking in the opposite direction. Some 2 hours and 30 minutes later. Let's see if they still have a lot of people here, or maybe less. It is getting later. And it's gonna get darker soon, but not yet. Plenty of people. Well, you can tell these are tourists because they, you know, they block the whole width, and they're not even aware of the fact that they're blocking the whole street, so to speak. New Yorkers, they kind of know that if you have 3 people walking in a line, that's too much already. So we're back on Highline. Our chat is sad and quiet today. And bros, yeah, this is weird because I know YouTube is bugging sometimes, but this is a super bug.
We may have met 4 years ago.
Mighty Bull, I'm here.
Okay, so
Yeah, power walking Highline.
right.
Welcome everyone to the stream. We're streaming from New York City. We are in Highline and we are walking the length of the Highline. We actually walked the whole length combined between first time we walked in the opposite direction and now we're walking backwards. So we did cover the Highline, but it's a good day, it's a good evening, brother, and we're enjoying it still. Superbug Schwartz. YouTube is having TMI day. Some entrances and exits along the way. Here's one of them. Stairs. Some have elevators, but mostly stairs. It's quiet here too. Less people, still enough, but less than before. RJ, hola, hola. I'm so sad to hear the Pheng will be missed. Yes, Pheng will be missed. That's a good exercise to walk the length of High Line.
I got a good buddy when we count.
Someone has a huge TV in one of those windows right there. Just past the gimbal. Yeah, there was a guy doing kind of the same thing I'm doing. I'm not sure if you're streaming or recording, but yes, he was holding the gimbal. Norman, good night. Norman says, Alan, friends, I love you all. Just know you all mean the world to me. Much love. We'll see you later, Norman. We're streaming live from High Line in New York City. Local time is 6:56 p.m. Hey Gina, good morning. TLCDC. Those tourists are fashion challenged. They would argue with you. They would say this is how we dress in Europe. Or maybe somewhere else. And that it's us Americans here don't know what to do and how to dress. We're going to take a very quick pause, and then we will be back. So don't go far. We will run the video, and then we'll be back in a few minutes. So please stay tuned. And we're back. Thank you for waiting. Going to connect our extended battery and continue in just a moment. Dallas, hey. Okay. Hi LXB. Hi, good evening. Pheng is one of my friends who was constantly in our chat, and he was a part of our chat family and other channels too, and he was a fantastic person and very kind, supportive, and helpful always. And he passed yesterday, and we're remembering him today and dedicating this stream to him. Angie, good evening. And that's a sunset over Hudson. Not yet, but soon. Angie, good evening. The practice of democracy, we hold this truth. This installation is called the practice of democracy. Christian, we still got light in New York City, yes.
So now I'm looking at the crops with the linden trees spotting cedars, the sun rising and cutting through the bay branches like sharks, smiling the river in the distance as it hitches on the greens and whites of patches.
Good evening, Sunset Blue.
I can see exactly the view of the city, and I don't want to leave.
Peter Wanda, good evening, welcome, welcome. R.I.P. to Pheng. Cabernato.
Highly recommend it though. If you want to go there, do it between that.
Gina dear Pheng would make me laugh in chats. R.I.P. I think this installation is appropriate for tonight, for our stream today. Nice stream, I like the highline, thank you. Yard Foods, hi, hello. Welcome to the stream, welcome to the channel, bro. Hey, good to see you. Best wishes in memory of one of my first YouTube chat friends, Pheng. Ours too. Ours too. Peter Wonder, I love this park. Yeah, we're walking backwards really. We're walking twice. First we walked from somewhere here all the way to Hudson Yards, and then we walked around Hudson Yards, entered Highline in the opposite end, and walking all the way to the beginning. And this is the beginning, this is the Whitney Museum. Hi Karina, thank you for watching. Hey Lydia, good evening. It is a ceremony. This is the beginning of Hudson Yards and, excuse me, Highline. And this is sunset over Hudson. And we're gonna walk downstairs to exit High Line. Christian, this sunset is gorgeous. I could frame that on the wall. This is Gazen Ward Street, and we are back in Meatpacking District. Peter Wanderer said, all I could on the end stream, so sad, and let's all continue to offer support. La Pecora Bianca, that's Italian. Christian, it is 7:15 in New York City, so evening time. Yep, exactly 7:15. Oh, it's Harley. Means white sheep. Oh, thank you. The walking band. That's it? That's it. Are you gonna let me walk or what? Look at your face. Hello, hello. He's in such a hurry. Oh, that's a little Prada pavilion, and the line is here. I'm not sure why the line. Maybe they get a sampler or something. We're taking a picture. Who knows? This is Meatpacking District. is Hudson Street we're crossing. You can say Hudson yards from here. We walk from there. Now they're far away. This is Greenwich Village. Welcome everyone to the stream. If you just discovered our channel today, welcome. If you're not subscribed yet and you like what you see, please subscribe. Today our stream is rather sad, and that's because we're remembering Pheng, our good friend, who passed yesterday at the age of 39. Our condolences to his family and loved ones and friends. Rest in peace. We are in Greenwich Village. We're walking from High Line toward somewhat closer to the major subway lines. Horatio Street and 8th Avenue. And Greenwich Avenue is crossing here. Antique posters. La Belle Époque. This is the Museum of Illusions. This is 14th Street Station, A, C, E, and L lines. And if we continue in that direction, we will eventually reach Union Square. This is 8th Avenue, so about 3-4 more avenue blocks, we will be in Union Square. We're streaming for 3 hours and 15 minutes. We walked quite a few and we saw a few interesting things. But most importantly today, we're dedicating this stream to Pheng, our good friend who passed yesterday at the age of 39. Bazaar, R.I.P to Pheng. So as always, we want to thank you for watching. At times our signal was a little laggy, but you know, for the most part it was good. And I guess we enjoyed the walk outside of you know, it was sad though. So how much can we enjoy it if it was sad? Not that much, but still, we looked at what's going on in New York and we learned a few things about Jameson, and we, generally speaking, had a good exercise. So life goes on, and Pheng will be remembered. Again, our condolences to his family and friends, and with all this, we're going to end the stream. We want to thank you again for watching, and thank you again for likes, thank you for being subscribed. If you're not subscribed, you're more than welcome to subscribe. And we will see you later, but hopefully we will see you sooner rather than later. Have a good one. Until next time, goodbye from New York. This is Friday, August 26th, 2022, local time 7:26. R.I.P. Pheng.